Hello, everybody, and welcome to the FFC Show. My name is Tosakkan. Today, I'm joined by Lewis Armstrong, who is one of the commentators for FFC and head coach of Tosakkan Muay Thai. So, I'm going to head it over to Lou just to give a quick intro about himself. Over to you, Blair.
Yes, guys. So yeah, I'm Lewis Armstrong, instructor, coach staying at Tosakkan Muay Thai in Newport, South Wales. And yeah, like Tom said, commentating on the show. So we're just gonna have a little chat just before the show kicks off next week. So yeah, I'm ready to go, Tom. Let's discuss.
Let's go. So, what we'll do, we'll pick up straight into the show, realistically. So, we've got the potential running order. We were talking about it just before we come on. So we'll kick off straight away with Teo J. Morse from Apollo versus Cole Westcott from WKU. Now, Teo fought on the last show. He made an exhibition on our last one, and he's boxing. These two, it's their first competitive bout in a ring because Cole has done some mat. He's got some mat experience,
Yeah,
coming from the kickboxing gym,
like,
and then
yeah,
sorry.
like tournament stuff.
Yeah, like the
Yeah, yeah,
tournament stuff. And Teo, obviously, the only real experience he's got is sparring within the gym, and then obviously the exhibition. So quite looking forward to that one. Both 7 and 8, I think. I'm quite, good way to open the card as well. I'm both, both
yeah,
being because they're both close. Because obviously, I think WKU is in Bridgend, so Bridgend to Tylorstown is not too far for Cole as well. So that's a junior boxing bout sponsored by Combat Parkinsons. So that's the first one to open the card on. And
nice.
then the next one, Hudson Pope versus Harley Cop. Now, just a quick one. So the cops are so Kai Cop is our officiating team. So he's going to take a step away from the officiating for this one, and he's going to be in the corner for this one. So this one is a K1 bout. Say K1 bout. It's K1 bout with no knee. So what do we call it just before the?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's low kick in
Yeah,
kickboxing too. Got different categories. I mean, it is full
yeah,
contact P1, low kick, and above the waist. I'm pretty sure it's low kick. Yeah,
yeah. So I think that's going to be a good one because Hudson made his exhibition on number 5, and he wore a body shield for it for K1. So now the fact that he hasn't got the shield on, and obviously being headshot as well, so it's
yeah,
kind of that that
uh,
that change.
yeah. It'd be a massive change. It's a lot more competitive then, and it's a lot
Yeah.
more like shit just got real. Like, yeah,
Well, it's the same as Teo as well. It's Teo and Cole. So, but both being that young, they're taking the step up and going into to boxing with headshots, even though obviously they still wear the headgear and stuff. But I
yeah,
think
yeah.
that it's a good change for somebody to go from an exhibition. I do think the exhibitions and like the interclubs, they're such a
Oh,
massive not an influence, but like a massive building block to your future.
100%. It clears up so much. Like people feel, oh, it's only an interclub, like, but it's everything. It's the nerves. It's like getting used to, an opposite team like cornering
Yeah.
against you, and it's a lot. The crowd, the fans against you. So they're perfect opportunities to build on. So I would never ever neglect exhibitions, interclubs. They are essential. 100% they're essential.
Yeah, I'm the same. It's the same as one of the things you said there, which is a good point, was the cornering. Now I found, right, obviously just to put a big pause on this, but I found sometimes, when you have anybody who's quite new into sparring, have you
Yeah.
seen when you kind of give them instruction from the outside and they kind of like they look at you and then they look back and then you just kind of like, don't look at me. don't, you don't need to be looking at me, keep looking at what you're doing. But again, I think that being within the interclub thing, I think that you get used to hearing the voices and only being able to listen to one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 definitely. Because it's when you're fighting, you got like even just your own corner. You could have potentially 3 people in your corner. One
Mm.
could be saying use your jab, one could be saying use your low kick, and the other one could be saying keep your distance. Even just your corner is enough to go on in your head. It shouldn't be like you should all be on the same page, but that's just your corner. Never mind everyone else in the crowd as well,
Yeah,
like this and that. So yeah, they're essential just for things like that, just for blocking out the noise and focusing on what actually matters.
yeah,
You know, singling out that voice you really do need to be listening to. Like, so
yeah.
yeah, essential, man, 100%.
And like I said, I think one of the other sides is having those exhibitions on a show like this. Like I know, obviously they open the show and having the exhibition there to open it. You've got the crowd there as well. Like it's a big venue. Do you know what I mean? Like there's 120 on the balcony plus standing, and then we've obviously got the sponsor table. So I think we had like 400 people in the last one. So it's a lot. And being, 13 and fucking 8 and walking out in front of like your home crowd, it's a big ask. But no, like I said, it's the exhibitions and all that type of stuff is such a great influence, and it's such a big building block in like any
Yeah,
progression in it.
definitely, mate. Definitely. Yeah,
So
definitely.
we have a quick break then in between, just to kind of let everybody refill and kind of obviously one of the things is we have to take into account is because of the balcony, we do kind of have the break so everyone get a refill and stuff. So on to the next one is dreaded Jed Thornburn from Striking Clinic versus Neo Lynn from Team Savage. Now, firstly, bro, I'm going to get my phone up right because I got the announcement on this now. I know dreaded Jed, so I work with Striking Clinic through Flow Fightwear right now. I know Jed. I've watched. I get tagged in all of their videos. Obviously because I do the kit and stuff, right? So I get tagged, and I've seen Jed. Right, dude, he is a 17-year-old. He'd be 18 at the show, right? But like he started fighting really early. He's really, fucking proper giving it a good go, right? He's currently 3-0. It's a 58 kilo bout. Yeah, Jed's 3-0. Coming across right is Neo Lynn. Now Neo Lynn is 5-5 amateur MMA, 0-1 boxing, and now stepping across into K1. Now, the one thing I will say before we jump into this one is Team Savage, obviously an MMA gym, and then you've got Striking Clinic coming across with the strictly the K1 and the boxing, and then they do have MMA up there as well. But one of the things that what I meant to say there is Jed coming across with the strict K1 background. That's what I meant to say. Sorry, but this fight, even though we're opening after the break, I think this fight's going to be a fucking stormer.
Okay, what rule set is this?
K1,
Okay, nice. So the one lad is what 3-0 in K1.
3-0 K1,
The other
and
lad's
then
5 in
five
Army,
five and
MMA.
five army. Yeah,
So there's a clash of styles, and they're both relatively experienced, though.
yeah, yeah, and 0-1 in boxing as well. So one of the things that you can say about fucking Neo Lynn is he's game.
Yeah. So who's the lad that's 0-1 in boxing? That's the lad with the MMA experience,
Yeah,
is it?
yeah. So Neo Lynn is from Team Savage, and he's 5-5 amateur MMA and 0-1. And then Jed Thornburn is from Striking Clinic, and he's 3-0.
So it's not just a case of he's just a grappler and he's crossing over. He's obviously got a striking background if he's climbed in the ring boxing as well. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
interesting. Yeah, they're usually very interesting because you haven't got that traditional like kick or Thai boxing stance with the MMA guys. It's a lot deeper in the stance and a lot more movement that you tend to find. So it should
Well,
be an interesting clash of styles.
here's a flashback. Joe Patterson from the Way Gym versus Kian Mullins, I think, on Rhondda Rampage 4. Low kick. Low kicks come out, low kick, low kick, low kick. Because obviously Joe's an MMA fighter as well, through and through. Don't get me wrong, he took the fight on a week's notice, come in, save the day. But you could
Yeah,
see what you just said about the stance and everything. Like you could just see the differences. Do you know what I mean? So that,
they
and I
tend to
think,
eat a lot more, don't they, and look for the big shots with the hands and stuff.
yeah, yeah. So this, bro, I'm excited. Like I've worked with Chris Me, the strength clinic coach for a while, and we've tried to get him down a good couple of times, and we've always tried to get him down here, bro. I'll be honest. And now that
Yeah.
they've come down, there was three of them. We did have three matches, but we ended up only having two. But now that there's these two coming down, I'm looking forward to it. Now, next one. Oh, sorry. So that's Jed Thornburn versus Neo Lynn K1 bout, sponsored by Flow Fightwear. The next one is Tom Mann from Apollo Sports versus Peter Lane from Machiavelli Boxing. This is a boxing bout 310, sponsored by Tylorstown Welfare Hall. Now, first thing I will say about Tom is he was originally signed up to fight K1, and his opponent, we found an opponent, and then there was a fuck up on the weights, basically. There was
Okay.
no come through on the weight.
Yeah,
So Tom's making his debut in K1, and he's making his debut in boxing, but he's fighting Peter Lane, who is 1-2 from Machiavelli Boxing in Pembroke. One thing I will say about Tom is, even though we had the opponent change and the discipline change, did not step away from the gym.
Fair play. So we just obviously just adapted the training side of it, just concentrated on boxing, obviously.
Yeah, well, let me see when Tom was released. So Tom, I do apologize, guys. The dogs are going fucking wild if you can hear banging in the background. So Tom and Jed was released. It says 4 days ago. So let's say it was last week. Look, so we're 10 days out from the show when this was released, and then that's when Tom took the change. So 10 days, the same as Ewan Williams as well. 10 days, and I think it's the right thing to do, if I'm honest, especially with your debut. Do you know what I mean? It's like, just, you've done the training now. I know obviously you're losing half your weapons that you've been training, but just get in and just get fucking involved now.
Yeah, he's obviously decent. Is he decent with his hands anyway?
Yeah, yeah.
Very leg heavy, and they don't have the boxing. If you've got the boxing, it doesn't really make a difference to it.
No, bro. I'll be honest. He comes to fucking he comes to fight like, and he looks the part as well. And what I mean by that is, like, he does everything right. You know, he stands correctly. He does, he does things the correct way. So there's no sloppy technique. You know, like he tries to keep everything nice and basic and flowy. You know, and he works.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
On Peter Lane from Machiavelli, I've watched a couple of his fights I've seen on Facebook and stuff. He looks, from his first fight to his third fight, is a massive improvement that we've seen. Very plant feet and power heavy. Kind of looks like he throws an overhand a lot. Yeah. But obviously Tom Mann coming from Apollo and me being the coach of Apollo, like we've looked at that. But I'll be honest, man, I'm excited. I'm really excited to see Tom kind of like get in here. He's shown up, you know, like fucking sometimes that discipline change, or it's like sometimes if you have a fight to pull out and you're 3 weeks out from a show, it can deter, can't it? It can go one of the other way.
Sometimes it can just throw you off everything, especially if someone like focuses on a certain opponent and he trains this way, he fights that way. I need to do this, I need to do that. And then all of a sudden it gets changed up on you. Yeah. But as long as you've got that mindset, it doesn't matter. If you concentrate on what you're going to do, then it's irrelevant, really.
Yeah.
Fucking make it good. You know what I mean?
Well, like I said, bro, I am excited for that one. That's one of those ones that I'm really excited for. And the reason being is because it kind of, I want to see Tom kind of go in there and have the opportunity to express himself properly. And what I mean by that is, like, in sparring, he does the work. Like I said, he does everything correctly. And I think now it's the next step for him to go, right, okay, let's let it fucking go now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I'll probably find that'll be it. Like, it'll be the fucking start, and then you jump in after one, and he's like, right, when's the next one? When's the next one? And he probably would have done it sooner. That's usually the case.
Yeah. On to the next one now. So we've got Toby Lee versus Matt Ward. This is another boxing bout. Both fighters enter at 1-0. And so Toby Lee is from the Way Gym and Matt Ward is from Team Savage. So another boy from Team Savage. And like I said, they're both 1-0. The Way Gym from Bristol. We see those guys quite a lot. They always come down.
I've seen a couple of those lads. I have seen a couple in the past shows. Yeah. Been pretty. Yeah, they do a lot of boxing. I mean, even with the K1 or the Thai guys I've seen come from there, are very boxing heavy. Like the hands seem to be the number one tool. Like,
well, you got there's a big one that I seen fight quite a lot is Benny Dobson, and Benny fucking, and Gary Everett, mind, when Gary was fighting, like, they got power in the hands, like you were saying, like Benny Dobson.
I think that Gary is the lad who I think I've seen. He got a knockout, didn't he, on one of the early shows? Maybe Rampage 2, I think it might have been.
Yeah, it was an overhand in the corner.
Yeah, I remember. So yeah, I recall they're pretty boxing heavy, those guys. So you can have some sharp boxing on display, hopefully.
Yeah. So that's Toby Lee versus Matt Ward, sponsored by the FFC Show. So that's another one that I'm looking forward to. And another reason, right, is with Team Savage, as weird, like, you start to see is they all come to fight. Like, even though they're making the debut, sorry, even though they want to know, like there's no backing off with them. You know, like there's no. It doesn't matter if it's K1 or boxing. We're happy enough to have a go at it all. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah. It's a
know,
good be, man. That's obviously got confidence in your skill set that you can. Doesn't matter, do either or. Like,
yeah, confidence within their skill set. And one of the other sides that I think is really good as well is obviously the confidence within their team and stuff. And I think that having that ability where they can, rely on each other a little bit more as well, especially because there's a couple of them coming down. So there's five of them from the same gym. So I think that having that, knowing the fact that there's going to be five of you coming down from the same team is going to be like, right, that's going to make it a little bit more, I don't want to
yeah.
say easier, but easy, like better to prepare for because you're all there.
Mate, it's just a buzz all around when it's like that because the whole training camp is all of you on the same page. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a game changer, man. We've been chasing that ourselves for the last couple of years. Like when I first started the gym, there was a group of us and we were all active and we were all a team and we'd all try and go on the same shows. So the whole fight camp right up until fight day would be just a teammating. Do you know what I mean? It
Yeah.
makes so much difference to when it's like, oh, it's just you, or maybe there's two of you. One's on at the beginning, one's on at the end. It's like, fuck, man. Do you know what I mean? You're like in the trenches. But when there's a nice pack of you, it's just, I don't know, man. It's like a different, you kind of don't feel alone. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's a good feeling, and it's a good feeling in the gym as well, leading up to the fight as well, which I think is what makes the big difference. 'Cause you're all on the same page, you're all training day in day out together, and you're just pushing each other to get better right up until fight night. So yeah, I get what you're saying there. So they're obviously going to be ready for war. They're going to be coming down as a team, and they're going to be looking to do the business. Yeah,
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. And one of the other sides to that as well is like they really stepped up to help. Like fucking as soon as we had any oh look, if we can do this, we can try our best. If we can meet in the middle, we can, So yeah, there's things like that then that you remember from the other side. And you're like, I fucking excited. I am excited. I do apologize. Guys, quiet. Sounds like it's kicking off outside.
fucking
um On to the next one. Now, this one I think you can have a bit more of an input with because Morgan Salter versus Andor Rouge from WPT and Morgan's from Giant.
yeah.
Now,
I've literally sparring with Morgan fucking hour and a half ago.
so this is a 68 kilo N class Muay Thai bout. And as you said, you were sparring with Morgan. So what's your thoughts for this one? This one is sponsored by Sansha.
Well, I don't know much about his opponent. Obviously, I'm guessing he's a debut as well.
Yeah,
But what I do know from obviously I've come across like Dave's guys WPT loads of times on loads of shows about boys go up against them. I know that what I think personally, their main focus is the fitness and conditioning. As soon as I asked Tristan, I said, "Who's Morgan fighting?" He said, "Oh, so and so from WPT." I said, "He's going to be fucking fit." Like I
yeah,
know that guy he's probably got 20 rounds in the gas tank. And that's what I said to Morgan. I said, technically, I don't know. I don't know the lad. I said, but I can guarantee you, just from knowing what gym he's from, he's going to be fucking conditioned. He's going to be fit. He's going to be strong. So
yeah.
technically, you've got to be on point and you've got to have the IQ. And
And
so,
that's a very very key point there is the fact that you said on point because they're going to come so conditioned where you're like,
you
right, I'm
can't make
gonna,
a mistake. You've got to be
yeah,
on your game from start to finish. You can't afford to make a mistake because that's all it takes, and then it could potentially be game over. Do you know what I mean? So it'd be interesting. I know Morgan's been training. He's like, I don't want to give. Well, when's this video going out?
tomorrow probably, bro.
I'm not giving away nothing. I'm not gonna start giving away. But yeah, he's been putting the work in. So should be interesting, man. It should be interesting. Obviously, I'll have a little bit more um like connection with that fight because obviously
Yeah,
he's been coming up with Jim quite regular. Tristan's been bringing him up with a couple of his boys for like sparring rounds and stuff. Like I said, I was sparring with him earlier on the day. So yeah, it should be good, man. I know he's been putting in the work, and I know his opponent, without knowing anything about him, is going to be super fit, super conditioned. So let's just say it's like a recipe for war, don't it? So yeah,
Yeah, and
yeah,
this is the thing. Like when you have that reputation, as you said with WPT, they have that reputation where they come fucking prepared. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
they
yeah,
are prepared. And then, as you said with Jayen, they've always shown the same. Like every other time they fought, every other time you see them fight, like especially like when you see Tristan, they always come to fight again. So as you said, it is going to be it's going to be a battle. Like
yeah. It should be
you
good.
know,
And it's obviously you've got that debut nerves sort of thing. You know what I mean? They're obviously both going to learn a lot on that night. Win or lose,
yeah,
they both learn a shitload about themselves. You always got that proper nervous first time energy, which tends to bring out the crazy fights. Like so, yeah, you can do all the technique in the gym and parry this, parry that, slip this, fucking clinch like this. Hey, fucking round one, you never fought in your life. Someone's
yeah,
swinging it, just goes out the window, and it's fucking
yeah,
hell. Like so.
yeah,
Good one,
yeah.
man. It'd be interesting. I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to it. I always, I don't know. I always feel a lot more connected when I got that little like personal connection with the lads. I haven't known him long, a few months, but like I said, he's been up a few times. We've done some bits like sparring and stuff. So yeah, I look forward to it, man. Looking forward to it.
One of the things you said there was like fucking that little bit of a connection, especially when you have that little bit more, you just feel it that little bit like, oh, like come on, this is this is one of those ones, isn't it?
Yeah,
Like, and I think that's especially with debuts that it heightens even more because the fact that it's their debut as well. But one of the other points that you made a very clear, valid, that was you in the gym, you look fucking great. In your promo video or any training video you're doing, everything's crisp, everything's fucking flashing, everything's working, everything's landing. When it comes to actually fighting, the game plan, as soon as it's that Mike Tyson saying, innit? As soon as you get punched in the face, the game plan goes out the window. Like,
100%, mate, 100%. Even on like a higher level, you see guys in their pad work, they look super sharp and they're doing mad techniques and stuff. When you watch them fight, you don't see half of that because it's
mm,
different when you've got a live target, fucking just done exactly the same as you for the last 2 months, throwing everything at you. Half of that stuff goes out the window, like the
yeah,
drill and shit. And so even that's on like a higher level. So even like the guys at like novice, like N class level, it's even more wild usually. Yeah, so they tend to be some of the best fights, to be honest. They do, man. They tend to
they
get the
do.
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, they
yeah.
do.
I like those fights. I like them fights.
Everyone's
Yeah,
on their fucking feet for these ones.
yeah, yeah. Pretty much, bro. Pretty much. Both blowing out their ass, just swing into the final bell.
Yeah,
Yeah, they definitely crowd pleasers, those fights. And obviously, it's what the guys need to progress as well. You got to start somewhere. So,
yeah, true,
yeah.
true. And on to the next one. So on to the next one, we've got Ewan Williams versus Alfie Morris. This is a boxing bout sponsored by Conk's Barbershop. Now, same thing happened to Ewan is called Schwan. That's his nickname. So I do apologize if I end up calling him Schwan throughout this. But he same thing as Tom Mann. So he was fighting K1 and he actually had an opponent. He was matched fucking I think within the first week of announcing the show. So he was matched for ages. A lad from Beals Muay Thai. And it was going to be a K1 bout. He was matched. Everything was great. Perfect, perfect, perfect. And then boy pulled out. So fucking same thing happened to Schwan. It was like upside down for a couple of days because he was like, oh, I don't know now. Because we said to him, we were like, look, we can keep training. We'll keep finding. We'll keep looking. Do you want us to look for a boxing bout? He's like, oh, bro, I don't know because it's one of them, and it's like you feel like you're losing half your weapons or whatever. But I'll be honest, bro. He had a conversation, and now, like, I'm like, why the fuck do we put him for boxing first? you
Obviously,
know?
he's got what it takes. So.
Yeah, yeah. Both debuts as well.
That's the thing with like K1 tends to be a lot of boxing involved anyway. Like if you come from a proper K1 gym,
Mm,
or you get them guys that fight Thai and then they'll take a K1 fight and they haven't really got the hands for it. You can see that they used to the technical Thai game with the legs and you go,
yeah,
I'll go one for one, that sort of thing. But if you come from a proper like kickboxing or K1 background, you usually have like super sharp boxing. So it's never really an issue. Just drop the kicks and just use your hands, and yeah, it's good to go. Like,
And do you know what, Lou? That's exactly what I said to him. I said, just drop the kicks. I said, keep using your hands like you are. Just drop the kicks. I said, instead of doing what we were doing, just substitute that for this and substitute this one for that one. I said, and that's all you got to do. And I'll be honest, bro, he took to it like a duck like water. Sorry, he took to it like a duck to water. He fucking honest, such a improvement. Again, Schwan fights out of Apollo, so that, again, I'm going to be biased, but it was so fucking great to see. Like, and bro, him and Tom, man, like I said, considering they both had that change, they the sparring they put in, like they're both ready to go, like and Alfie Morris again coming from Team Savage. So this is Alfie's complete debut. So he's done nothing outside of this one. So I'm excited to see what that one's going to be like.
Yeah. So what weight are these fighting at?
So Ewan and Alfie's at 80 kilo, and then
Oh,
Morgan,
big
yeah,
guys. That's a good weight, man. A speed and power, 80 kilos.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
the big slow juggernauts, but obviously they're at that, like they still got the speed and they got the power as well. So it's a
yeah.
good weight class, man.
And that's the thing, in it is like having that speed and that power, and then being able to land and you know doing that work, especially at that weight, because you can fucking hurt people. Like,
Yeah, yeah, definitely, man. Definitely. It's a good weight. This obviously the lighter weight classes are a lot quicker, but it's not there tends not to be the power there. And then obviously there's heavyweights are the opposite, but it's very powerful, but tend to land not land the clean connecting shot because it's super fucking slow down. Like when you got them guys like between 80 to 85, it's just perfect, perfect weight for speed and power. Like you can display both. Yeah, dangerous.
well, going on to our next one. Our next one is Robbie Davis from Welsh Gladiators versus Aaron Lee John from Beals Muay Thai in an 82 kilo boxing bout, sponsored by Captured by Jazz. Now, Robbie fought in the last one. Robbie took a fight on, I think, a day's notice against Garrett Masters and one of my boys. Come up, he beat Masters at 101 kilograms, and he's fighting on Saturday at 82.
Wow. So he's obviously lost a lot of weight.
Bro,
He won as well.
yeah,
He won on what, a day's
day's
notice?
notice, yeah,
Fuck me. And he was fighting at what, 101 kilos. And he's obviously
101.
82, so he had a lot of body weight that he didn't need, and he still won.
Bro, honestly, right? Robbie's been up with us now twice to spar because obviously we're gladiators. They come up to Apollo, right? Now, Robbie's been up with,
Yeah, Welsh Gladiators, Corn's
yeah,
gym.
yeah, Cone's gym, yeah. Um, bro, he is fucking, he's a problem. Like, I'm excited to see this. So Robbie comes in as 1-0, and Aaron comes in as 0-1. Now, like, I think this is going to be a really good display because one of the things I'll say for Robbie is taking a fight on a day's notice, right? Is very different to taking a fight on, because this again was announced 19th of December, right? So the show's the 7th of February. So, and we already planned this one. So this was already like, in the bank, ready to go, right? Now, the difference with I find is taking a fight in a day's notice is you haven't got to think or do fuck all. There's nothing you got to do or change. This one, considering you have to do a new weight class, complete new weight class, and you've added an opponent to think about. Even though I've done a FFC show with Robbie, and Robbie's fucking oozing with confidence, and it looks great, right? But like I said, it's still that thing that you've got that build up, you've got that weight loss, you've got the weight cut, you've got all of these things that add that little bit more pressure on it.
Yeah, I think it can go like one of two ways, really, can it? Like you said, you could have it on a day's notice and you haven't got time to think about anything. You've got time to fucking think about pants you're wearing. You're in the ring, like, so I
Yeah.
mean, it's fucking the bells ringing and it's go time. So that is a positive. But then on the flip side, if you have had a full camp, yeah, you can let it get to you and dwell on I got this guy, he's going to do this and that. But it also gives you that full time to prepare
Yes.
men mentally and physically. So like, I used to like when I'd have a fight announced, you get that feeling doing your pre and name forward, then you get actually get a match and you see a poster come out and you think, fuck, it's on.
Yeah.
You sort of just crack on with it, but then I find like the closer it gets, the more you start to like actually think about the mental side of it.
Yeah.
At first, all systems go just in the gym, training your hardest. You know, you got to train your hardest. Don't really think about it. That's what I was like anyway. But as the time got close, like 2, 3 weeks out, then I'd like really start thinking about it mentally, like shit, man, fucking hell, like what, it's on, like it's creeping up by the day, and yeah, that's when you start then, thinking about it deeply. But I think it depends on the individual, man. Some people
Mm.
might thrive on that, take a short notice fight, jump in, don't think about anything. But then also like I said, you could use that to your advantage, having like a nice 8 week camp to mentally and physically prepare yourself, and you could go in there with the fucking confidence of a god and just not worry. You know you've done everything you can for the last 2 months. And you're just super confident and you just believe in yourself. So I think it depends on the individual. Like you might thrive on that one day or a couple of days notice and then jump in, or you could be better by thinking on it for like two months in advance. Like
Mm.
so,
Well, the other side to it is he's fighting at the end of the month as well, Robbie is. He's fighting on another promotion. So he's game, like, it shows. And one of the other sides is obviously we'll talk about Colin later on, but like coming from Colin's gym, Colin is active and, he encourages the boys to be active as well,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
I think,
That's essential, man. It does help a lot. Like if you've got someone like we've had this conversation before, but
yeah,
when you're at the gym and you're leading from the front, and it's good, man. It's good. It's an inspiration, and there's something for them to look up to. They see what you're putting in, week out, and what it leads up to. They want that moment of glory. They know it's not just rocking up on a Saturday. You got to fucking put the grind in. You got to put the time in. So it's good for them to look up to, man. It's
mm,
I think it makes a difference. I was having this conversation the other day with Tristan. Obviously, he runs his gym on the other side of Newport to where I am. And even he said, I think like the guys like to come to us training. They like it because we get involved as well. We're
yeah,
involved. You're not just stood on the sidelines, fucking looking at the clock, blowing a whistle, like that kind of, that coaching style. You're in the mix, like, this is what we're doing. I'm doing it with you. There's no excuses. Like, if I can do
mm,
it, you can do it. And then
yeah,
just everyone, you know, they look over and they think, yeah, fucking hell, like, we're all doing it. Basically, you're not asking anything of them that you haven't done yourself. And I think that for some people, that can be a game changer. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Very, very well said. And the thing is as well, like you said, especially leading from the front, and then the other side is Cone's headlining the show. Do you know what I mean? So like you're in the same thing. You're going up to it. You're building. You're doing it all together.
Yeah.
Um, to touch on Aaron, his opponent. Aaron is, like we said, 0-1, and he comes from. Aaron comes from Beals Muay Thai. So Mark Beals, the head coach, down in Step Aside in Tembe. Mark's had a couple of other guys on the show before. He's got somebody else on the show as well. So originally we did have 4 guys. One of the boys that was supposed to fight Schwan was from Mark's, and then my guy, unfortunately, had to pull out on one of Mark's guys, so it was one of them. So it went from 4 down to 2. But I think having that team mentality we spoke about earlier on going into the show, I think that there was 4 of them originally, and I guarantee they've all carried on training because the fact that like they were all supposed to be on the show. So, I'm looking forward to the performances that Beals Muay Thai are going to put on, like, because I think with the bigger weights as well, like Robbie and with Robbie and Aaron being at 82 kilo again, it's the same as we said about Schwan, fast, can
Explosive,
bang, yeah,
explosive, and speed and power. Yeah, it's a good weight class.
So looking forward to that. On to the next one is a N class bout between Will Lunt from Beals Muay Thai versus Rydian Cummins from Eagles Muay Thai Barry. Lunt is at 0-1, so he returns to the Rampage ring. And then across from him is Rydian Cummins, who's also 0-1. And so this one's N class. I think this one falls into that same conversation we had earlier with like both making your debut. Kind of like with this one, you both coming in on a loss. So I'm not going to say you've got something to prove, but you want to distance yourself from your first fight. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. You've come to try and put it behind you, haven't you?
Yeah,
Basically trying to put right what went wrong in the first one. So you've had your debut, you felt the nerves, you come up short. ideally you've stepped away and gone back to the drawing board, as they say, and you worked on what needed to be worked on, what lost you the fight you've put right, and you're turning up to get that first W, and you. So
Mm.
yeah,
It's exciting. Again, like with the both of them coming in quite raw, they're the ones that kind of, they do excite you, and coming from good gyms as well. Like Eagles, Martin Byrne,
yeah,
head coach of Eagles Barry, and then you got Mark Beelan, head coach of Beals Muay Thai. I think between the two
yeah.
of them coming in is going to be, I think it's going to be a good performance from both of them. Like,
Yeah, both obviously got experienced backgrounds, from the gym's perspective.
yeah,
Obviously, Beal, he's got multiple titles. Martin, I've known Martin for years. He's been around a lot longer than I have. He's obviously seen and done it all. So yeah, they obviously got the foundations, haven't they? So
yeah, yeah.
and they both had that first fight, like you said. So the nerves should be slightly less, but like you said, they've come to put right what went wrong and get a first W. So again, should be a very, very exciting fight. Yeah.
Looking forward to it. Looking forward to it. On to the next one. So we have Jamie Townsend from Striking Clinic versus Matt Bryce from Team Savage MMA. This is a K1 bout sponsored by Valley's Vodka. Now, Townsend comes in at 3-0, and then Bryce comes in at 3-1-1 across boxing, K1, and MMA. Now, I've watched Bryce fight on adrenaline. Come out in, I'm sure it come out in Pereira shorts, Alex Pereira shorts, Shama, right? Put on a fucking scrap. It was a fucking war as well. And I mean a good scrap. And he won that as well. Now, Jamie Townsend coming out 3-0. I spoke to Chris, and Chris is very confident in both of his guys. And I'm not going to say Jamie especially, but Jamie said that, like, Jamie is a problem. And
Yeah.
this one is, I'm sure, I can't find the weight on this one. I have to double check the weight for this one. Give me one sec. And this one is at 80 kilo again. So another, another big one for another big weight. So we know, they can bang and they can work. But again, both good records, both coming in with experience.
Yeah. So the lad who said this 3-0, is he 3-0 in K1 or is it
K1,
boxing?
yeah. So with Townsend Street, so with the Striking Clinic boys, their records are strictly K1, and then with the Savage, they got that little bit of a mix. So Bryce is 3-1-1, so that's across boxing, K1, and MMA.
Okay. Okay.
And also one of the other sides is Bryce is a late step in and only took it last week.
Yeah. Okay. And he's the
So
lad with the MMA background, is he?
yeah, yeah. So I'm looking forward to that again. Like fucking another good opportunity for another good, good display of K1 action, especially again at the big weights, you
Yeah.
know.
Explosive. Is it like you said? It's like a couple of them by saying, but then you've got that classic clash of styles, haven't you? You've got a kickboxing sort of background, K1 purist against the MMA guys who obviously got a slightly different approach, different footwork, different rhythm.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're always interesting fights. They are. They're always interesting. Yeah,
This is
they
the
are.
this is the thing in it. It's like when you have these ones, especially, you know, it's I think it's a good display because the fact that you're not polished yet. I'm not going to say you're polished, but like when you're really finding your feet, just before you take the shin pads off, like
Mhm.
you find your feet, do you know what I mean? You find that base where you're like, right, this is how I fight now. This is how I know how I can, you know, what's the word for your gas tank for the rounds? Like compose yourself through the rounds, and this is how
Yeah,
I can, like you start to build that base. Then, do you know what I mean?
yeah. You know how to maintain like the endurance. You know your work rate. You know your output. Like yeah,
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to that one. And then on to the next one. So we have Joshy Williams from Apollo Sports versus Jed Stansfield from Team Savage. Again, now Joshy is coming in at 2-3 and in boxing, and Jed is coming in at making his boxing debut, but 3-2 in MMA. Now, with Jed, I've watched Jed fight in his last MMA bout. He's very, very long. Um, Josh isn't. Josh is a little bit shorter. But Josh is quite used to getting inside and going to work. So this fight I'm really looking forward to. So Josh fought Tyler Hoskins from the Way Gym on number 4, and then he fought Jack Johnson on number 5 and won with a like 30-second knockout. But that Tyler Hoskins, I think, was a very good display of boxing for Josh in his
So
return.
on Rhondda Rampage 4.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I remember that fight. I know the lad you're on about as well, Joshy. Yeah,
yeah.
he's good. He was a good little scrapper. Fair play to him.
And
Yeah,
bro, he's come on so much. Do you know what? Right, since that Tyler Hoskins fight, he has not left the gym.
yeah. You,
Uh,
I recall that fight. He landed some nice body shots and that. That lad looked pretty strong as well, didn't he? In like the first round or so,
yeah.
just hung in there like and give him as good as he took. Like, yeah, I know the lad you're on about. He's decent, man. Fair play.
Well, I'm excited for that one. That's one of the ones that I am really excited for, just because you get to see again, you get to see that full display, like Joshy coming in 2 and 3, and then Jed coming in 3 and 2 in MMA. It's again a complete different clash of styles where you're like, right, this is going to
Yeah,
be different because Joshy's going to be a bit more bladed, and
yeah,
then you're going to have Jed who's going to be a bit more. I'm not going to say, square, but you're quite used to expecting the takedown, aren't you? Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Tend to be a bit more like unorthodox as well. Not your typical like you know leading with the jab and stuff. They come in with like mad overhands and shit, don't they? And
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's different. It's not like a purist boxing style, is it? It tend to adapt an orthodox style, like so. Should be interesting, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Again, that's a exciting one. But just to add to this one, so Joshy was actually supposed to fight somebody else in hybrid gloves, but he pulled out last week. And the bout was agreed for 3 3s. So what we've done with Jed, I'd be fair to Jed, is we offered him the 3 3s. So it's a 10-ounce boxing bout for 3 3-minute rounds. All the other boxing bouts that we have, except the hybrid bouts, are 3 2s. So that gives Joshy that little bit more time to work now as well. I found, I
yeah.
find, sorry, you
Maybe
know,
set shots up and yeah, look for openings rather than just fucking swinging for the fences. Like,
yeah, especially coming off a finish in your last one.
yeah, get a display. You can display your skill set more, can't you? You can be smarter. It's not just a race against the clock, just swinging. You can calculate and pick your shots a lot more
Yeah.
cleanly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm excited for that one. I am excited for that one. Now on to the next one. We have Moyo, or Blackie Chan, as he like to be called, versus Vlad Tsagov. I hope I've said that right, but so Moyo is coming from Eagles Muay Thai in Cardiff, and Vlad is coming from Newbury Muay Thai.
yeah.
So Vlad went 4-0 in N class, and this is a C class bout,
Hmm.
and Moyo's coming in as 2-0. Now, we all seen Moyo fight on number 4, no, 3, on number 3, because
Okay.
when he jumped the ring and jumped the ropes and done a very, very awesome entrance into the ring.
Entertaining is an understatement, man.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm excited to see Moyo. I am excited to see Moyo.
Um,
Um,
he was down the gym last week. He come down with Tommy and we got a few rounds of sparring in. Yeah, he's a mad boy.
yeah, yeah,
He's a boy. He's got, but he's a skillful. He's skillful. I don't just mean his personality. He's a bit mad, like, but he's got the skills. He's got a skill set. Yeah, and like you said on the last one, he fought very entertaining lad. But you can see, he's got a lot of potential. He's only young. I asked him last year. He was like early 20s. I said, mate, I'm literally double your age almost. Um, so he's got like years ahead of him. He's like, I want to fight A class, man. I want to fight A class. I was like, bro, relax. Just take your time, get the fights in, get the experience in, level up slowly, and the time will come. Um, I know he's game. He's game, slightly unorthodox. But he's tough, man. He's a tough boy, Moyo. He's a very nice guy as well, very nice kid. And I know his opponent. I don't know his opponent, but I know of the gym. I know they're very, very well schooled Muay Thai practitioners, Newbury Muay Thai. Obviously, they got Eric Lewis fighting on one championship.
Mm.
They've got a few. There's a few boys. I remember the other lad, Rob, I think his name is. He's a tank of a boy. So it's going to be interesting, man. I think it'll be Moyo's hardest fight to date, to be honest with you, just by on paper from the pedigree of gym that the lad's coming from. And he's obviously experienced. He's 4-0. What'd you say, 4-0 in N class, and this is his
Yeah,
first class.
C class. Yeah.
So he's doing it the right way. He's obviously got the experience in N class
Mm.
and undefeated, and he's about to take the shin pads off. So it should be a very, very good
Yeah.
fight. A
And
nice.
obviously with the elbow pads as well, it should,
What is it? Pro-am
yeah,
rule, elbow pads as well.
yeah.
Yeah, that one sounds it's got fight of the night potential.
Well, that's the your co-main event, guys. That's the co-main event, though. So we've got
Yeah.
Moyo from the Eagles versus Vlad as the co-main event, sponsored by the Bokst Network in C Class Muay Thai. And I agree with Lou. I think that got fight of the night written all over it.
Yeah, that's a nice fight on paper, man. That's a nice fight, and obviously they both get to show their skill sets as well. So yeah, like I said, he's Dane. So I've done range of sparring with him. I've seen Moyo fight. I've trained with him. So I know he's got the goods. But also I know that the lad who he's fighting comes from very good stable. So
Mm.
I think personally it's going to be Moyo's biggest test. And if he wins, then yeah, I think yeah, if he wins, I think it's going to be a testament of where he's at in the sport. You know what I mean? He's going to show his level and obviously progress. Then, like you said, you
Yeah,
want the fight class, you can start progressing, get a few C class under his belt, and then perhaps look up to B and so forth. So that for me is that's the one I'm looking forward to the most. So yeah, I think
the
that's going
arms
to be I think that's going to be a banger. Mate. It's going to be a proper.
the Armstrong pick of the night. I like it.
Yeah.
On to the next one. So that, as we said, Moyo versus Vlad is your co-main event, sponsored by the Bokst Network and C Class Muay Thai. Now on to the main event. We have Cornelius Sablauskas versus Josh Howells in hybrid um boxing, 3 3-minute rounds again, and this one's sponsored by the FFC Show. Josh comes out of Swansea Boxing Gym. Now, Josh had an amateur background. He went into the unlicensed semi-pro kind of aspect. Went there, but now crossed over into the 4-ounce hybrid gloves. So I'm excited to see how Josh does with this, because one of the biggest things that I've found, especially coaching the hybrid aspect, is the 4-ounce gloves are completely fucking different to the 10-ounce gloves.
Mm-hmm.
Completely different. So
Yeah.
it's going to be good to see, what Josh brings across. And then the other side is Corn is like a pig in shit in 4-ounce gloves. Do you know what I mean? He's comfortable there. Like
Yeah. You've
I
got
was
the
sparring with
experience, haven't you?
yeah, I was sparring with him Friday, and you can just tell, like, there's little things that he does. He tries to find openings in places that you wouldn't really look for normally. Do you know what I mean? Because like coming up the center, but making a little bit more of a space between you, so you don't hit the elbow, and just like these little things, that he's
Yeah.
doing. I'm looking forward to it. Like Corn is, he's on a trajectory right now. It's like fucking anyone that he fights, like he just beat that Ricky for, I can't remember Ricky's second name, I do apologize, but for the Bad to the Bone title, that Bad to the Bone got bought out by BKB. So then it's like, what's next now? So Corn is already signing up to fight Ricky again in Bristol on the TCB show. So that's in May. And then it's like, who's next? Like when me and Corn done a chat the other day, like Brad Couch was speaking about it, and I'm thinking, like, for me, I think them two to run it back in BKB in like the Trigon, I think that would blow the roof off the place.
Yeah. That'd be sick, man.
And
That would be. But I don't know, that Trigon's fucking tiny, ain't it? And I think that would favour Brad.
yeah,
Obviously the build, the build and style, like Corner's the longer man, more of a sniper with his shots, where Brad's like a little fucking pit bull, like. So I think that'd make a difference in I'm not saying that would determine the outcome, but I think it would give him the advantage. That
Yeah.
small enclosed space is definitely, of course, it's common sense, and it's going to be the advantage to the smaller, stockier guy. Like, he's just going to close him down and fucking work. But regardless of where and what shape the ring is they fight, I'd love to see. I think everyone would love to see that again. Fucking
Bro,
hell.
bro, honestly, we've said it. And then Robbie called out Brad. Do you know what I mean? Like Robbie, yeah, he said about that. So there's that little bit of, I don't know. Obviously, you're going to be loyal to Corn if he's your coach, of course, isn't it? But like, everyone knows that that fight should have happened again. Everyone knows that, and we did try our best to make it happen. Like, trust me, we tried our best to make it happen. We were going to put a belt on everything, and it should have happened again. But it is what it is. And I'll be honest, if it happens in BKB, bro, I'm going to be there because I'm cornering Corn. But for me,
Yeah, yeah.
I think that would be a barn burner. But before we obviously jump fucking 100 miles ahead, back to Josh Howells. Now, as you said, Josh coming from the amateur background, I think, as I said, I think that the change in the gloves, you may notice a little bit of a difference. But I'll be honest, I'm excited. Like, I am excited. I think it's another test for Corn. Josh is tall as well, so he's like Corn's height. So it's going to be good.
What's his experience? So you say you got an amateur background.
Uh, 8-2 as an army.
So he's got 10 boxing bouts since he's experienced.
Yeah,
He'll have
yeah,
a bit of pedigree about him. It just depends on, like you said, how he adapts to those the glove change, man. You see a lot of even like the fight on one championship and stuff. They come from traditional Muay Thai. They see about the difference. Just even that, like you see Liam Harrison says about it, where he fights Muay Thai, and he said he got his guard up, which normally would defend that shot. But whereas that glove's a little bit smaller, it fucking clipped him in the back of the head, shot his equilibrium, and next thing you know, you're fucking rocked.
yeah,
So
yeah.
it depends on how he's been training and if he adapts to him, don't it? So should be interesting, very interesting.
Bro, like for me, I'm excited. And the other side is one thing that benefits Josh is his 3 minute rounds again. So amateur boxing is always 3 minute rounds. So they've never had to change that. Corn's used to the twos. So, but obviously, I'm not going to blow Corn's fucking on too much. Like, he's fit, man. Like, he's always
Wait,
coming in
lie
prepped.
down, sorry, mate. Fucking dog's
Sorry,
on.
bro.
Lie down.
Bro, I do apologize. I talking about those. Everyone, you probably heard mine going fucking wild for the last hour, so I do apologize in the background to everybody about mine. But no, like we were saying, man, like I think it'll be a good fight, and I think to end the show with Corn and Josh, I think would be good. Like we did have Dave Jones from Unit One MMA versus Ash Williams in a hybrid K1 bout. That was supposed to be up there as well, but unfortunately Dave had to pull. But we're gonna we put that one on our next show because, bro, hybrid K1, I'm all for
Yeah,
that.
that'd be amazing, man. That'd be sick to watch. Yeah.
So I'm all for that one.
Yeah, definitely. Get some more of them going.
Okay,
Definitely.
okay,
Yeah,
right.
what's not to love like? What's
I
not to love
know.
about that?
But yeah, that's the run through of the show, guys. So that's potentially the order of what the fights are going to be like. It may change or not, but Moyo is your co-main and Cornelius is your main event. Now, as I said, it's a great run of fights. We got a good mixture. It's, with the kids to open up the evening, we got a mixture of experience and mix of disciplines. And I'll be honest, bro, I'm just fucking excited now.
Yeah, of course, of course. Like you said, this is a big variety in it. Age, discipline, experience is all sorts. A big mixed bag. So there's a lot of opportunities for some crazy shit to go down. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
forward
So
with it.
yeah, perfect. So you'll be able to catch Lewis ringside, guys. Lewis will be doing commentary along with Macaulay Lowe. They'll be our commentary team. And yeah, that's it. That's us, guys. So Lewis, just if you want to let everybody know about the gym and where they can find you and all that type of information, please, brother.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, like I said, we're in Newport, Tosakkan Muay Thai. So we're up at High Cross Boxing Gym. So we train Tuesdays and Fridays, 6 till 8 p.m. Technique Tuesdays, clinch Friday, and then sparring days, Sundays, 5 till 7 p.m., which is open to basically anybody that wants to come down. Obviously, I don't. don't mean anybody off the street. I mean any gyms with guys that want to come down, for competition sparring from novice level up to whatever, A class, pro K1, whatever, boxing, Thai. Yeah, so if anyone wants to come down and join, by all means, come down. Um, and yeah, I'll see you next week on the commentary. So looking forward to it, man.
Awesome,
Thanks for having
awesome.
me.
Awesome, of course, Lou, of course. So yeah, guys, just want to say thanks again. Just a couple of other things before I let you go, Lou. We have got, just so we know, guys, we did have Dan Scrans coming to do our food, but unfortunately, Dan couldn't make it. So we've got Spudtastic coming down. So we've got jack potatoes and a wide variety of other things there. We've also got an after party straight after the show. Same venue, after party up until 12:30. So resident DJ is going to stay there, carry on. The bar's going to stay open up until 12:30 as well. I think. Don't hold me to that, but the bar's going to stay open. Yeah, so the bar's going to stay open, and yeah, but like I said, guys, the tickets are still available on Box. I think after checking just before I come on, yeah, I think there's no balcony tickets left now. So guys, I think if you do need a balcony ticket, the only way to get it will be maybe off a fighter, and I don't even
Yeah.
think any of the fighters have got any left, but. Otherwise, tickets are available on Box. Just want to say thanks to all of our sponsors, guys. Without you, none of this would be possible. And yeah, February the 7th, Tylorstown Welfare Hall, Rhondda Rampage returns, and doors open at 5. First fight's at 6. I look forward to seeing you all there, guys. And Lou, thanks very much, but I really appreciate you joining me
No
again, bro.
problem, mate. No problem. Look forward to
Awesome.
seeing you next week, man.
I can't wait, bro. I can't wait. Awesome. Thanks very much, guys, and have a good day. Bye.